And hello everybody, I'm Sherry Shriner, and you're listening to Sherry Shriner Live at SherryTalkRadio.com. It's Tuesday night at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, and it's been a really nice day today. I can't complain, considering the weather we've had. And it's pretty actually quite normal with all the snow and ice and everything, but what's not normal is all these earthquakes and tornadoes, especially in Ohio and just places we've never had them before. And so it's really getting kind of exactly what the Lord said. You know, it's going to be a wild year. The weather's going to get crazy, unexpected things happening everywhere. We haven't seen anything yet. We haven't seen anything. A little rumble here and there, and nothing's really been destroyed like it's going to be. You know, wait till these little rumblings start to become something major. You know, last week when I began to talk about chemtrails at the opening of my radio show, it was immediately attacked and the server was sabotaged. This went on for about 20 minutes last week. And so I decided, since they wanted to act like 2-year-olds, I would just put up a whole website on chemtrails. And so I worked all week and weekend on a new website for chemtrails, chemtrailagenda.com. And of course, that website wasn't up one day, and now it's been attacked. I'll get that straightened out. I'm going to be talking to the web host provider and stuff. If you go to the page now, chemtrailagenda.com, it says it's out of bandwidth, and of course, you know, it's not out of bandwidth yet. And so it's just, you know, more hassles. And I'll also be doing a recording on chemtrails. It really makes you wonder why they bother, because there's so many websites on chemtrails. Why bother my website it's on chemtrails? I mean, just because my name's on it? I mean, I don't. Why bother my website? So I'm sitting here thinking about it yesterday. And the thing that came out, was coming to my mind, is the only difference between my website and everybody else's is I go to the core problem. You know, I don't dance around it, you know, and I'm not saying these other websites dance around, they just give you factual information on what chemtrails are. I tell you where they come from. I'm telling you exactly who's doing the chemtrailing. And so there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, and that's what has them all, ticked off. I finger the real agenda on the whole thing. And the whole chemtrail agenda, folks, is an alien attack on humanity to depopulate the world for their own control. It's an Illuminati agenda, and the Illuminati agenda is an alien agenda. And I've said that over and over and over again on this show, that the Illuminati and the aliens are one and the same. The only difference is you have a human counterpart to the Illuminati that are the hybrid children that do their bidding on Earth. You have the Bushes, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, all the Serpent Seed Line families. I have them listed at my website, thewatcherfiles.com. There's 12 Serpent Seed Line families. And it all comes from these hybrids, and these hybrid families are direct descendants, sons of Cain, Serpent Seed Liners, and that's why they intermarry amongst themselves. Most of them have marriages of convenience, to where they get married and produce children, but they don't love each other. There's marriages of convenience, much like the Bushes and the Clintons and everybody else that's been in the White House, and that's why you'll see them stay together, even though there's infidelity and everything else amongst them, because their marriages of convenience to begin with. You know, loyalty and things like that aren't part of their repertoire of a dictionary. You know, they don't care about any of that stuff. Most of the women are bisexuals, the men are too. And so sins like these kinds don't seem to faze them, affect them. It's part of their life. And they enter into marriage agreements, not marriages. And so, I've been talking about this stuff for years, and that's got to be the only difference, because if you do look at my website, once it's back up, they'll have it down for a day or two just to annoy me. What I talk about on it is the fact that this whole thing with chemtrails and different is how I go about it, in that I'll show you the Bible code on chemtrails on my website, and I talk about things. I'm going to go over some of that tonight, that the other websites don't get into, because I look at it more of a spiritual aspect. I realize full well that we are controlled by the fourth dimension here in the third dimension, Earth. It's a visible realm that we don't see. It's the fourth dimension. It's Satan's realm. He is prince and power of the air, also underneath the earth, on the earth. He's everywhere. And we are controlled by them. And you'll hear about this on other websites to an extent. You'll hear, the Anunnaki slave lords are human controllers and things like that. And it's true. It's true. And so, I just get into more of an aspect on it. The human puppets leading our world governments are just pawns of this alien New World Order agenda. that they're trying to implement on Earth. And this is a new world order where aliens will control every aspect of Earth. They'll no longer have humans as puppets at all. It'll be a new world where aliens can openly enslave humans and feed off of them in abundance without having to hide. A new world where Satan can bring his kingdom of torment, torture, suffering, mayhem, and death to the forefront instead of having to work through human pawns. He'll be doing it himself with his own forces. A new world where the suffering of mankind is the rule and not the exception. A new world where eating human flesh is the norm and not the exception. A new world where there are no civil rights, no constitutional rights, or humanitarian rights. A new world where alien demonic beings in their own forms take over our governments and police departments and federal agencies, and we as a mankind answer to them as subordinates. A new world of lawlessness and injustice as the aliens can do as they please, and there is no justice against them, there's no justice for mankind. A new world where being microchipped becomes enforced, and those microchips lose their souls for eternity. The Bible talks about these chip implantations. If you look at the plague punishment of Revelation 16:2, it says, "And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image." And I did a Bible code on these chip implants several years ago, and of course I just went to the website earlier to look for it. Not there. And I'll have to re-upload it. And I'm going through a lot of these codes that I posted at hiddencodes.com, and they hack the pictures, so you can't see the codes. I don't know what they do to them. I always have to upload them, re-upload them over and over and over again because they hack them off my website, so you can't see the actual codes themselves. But these chip implants are like two-way transistor radios, folks. And when they put these chip implants in you, from that point on, they're going to be able to hear everything you hear. And they also have what they call visual implants, and they can implant you with these visual implants, and they can see everything that you see. And so, the upside to this, though, is that a lot of people don't realize this, and they think they're hearing voices and stuff, is that because these chips are two-way transistors, they malfunction, and you can hear what's going on their end. You may be sitting watching TV or trying to go to bed, and all of a sudden you're hearing voices that sound like it's coming from some military base or someplace you don't know where they're coming from, but you hear music, you hear people talking, things like this. That's these chips. That's a sure way of knowing your chip implanted, because these chips can pick up on their end as well. I don't think they were ever counting on that one. But I know for a fact that happens. And so you're not hearing voices and you're not going crazy. It's just these chip implants that you have to where they're malfunctioning, and you can, and I don't even know if it's a malfunction. I think it's just more of a side effect of these chip implants being able to hear the other side through them. And this is a new world, folks. What I was going to talk about is these little implants have some kind, since they're batteries, they have some kind of little battery in them, because the battery part of these implants is going to leak. There's some kind of acid in these implants, and when they leak is what's going to cause these boils upon human flesh, upon mankind. So it's these chip implants that, because this whole plague, the Lord talks about, and people, you're not going to see an angel standing above the earth dumping a bowl over the earth. I know that's how we expect things to happen, exactly as we read them. They're just going to happen. And these are just figurative ways of John trying to explain to mankind exactly what's going to happen. So you're going